Olivia. Long time no speak. How are you?
Oh, sorry, who is this?
What? It's Alana.
Alana? From high school?
Duh. Do you know anyone else by the name other than this high school Madonna?
Oh, well, okay, wow, hi. I'm so surprised to hear from you, Alana. Long time no speak. What's up?
Oh my god, awkward. Sounded like you had a hard time remembering who I was there. I thought we were friends.
Sorry, I just didn't expect to hear from you. But it's great to connect again. Has something come up?
Well, I was just wondering if you were in town for the big reunion tonight. Are you back?
Yes, I am attending. Didn't want to miss a chance to see everyone.
Oh, good. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it. I heard that you live in the city nowadays.
That's right, I live in LA. I just got back in last night. I haven't been home in a while, so I wanted to see my folks anyway, and I figured it'd be a good opportunity for me to catch up with my family and friends, so I decided to join the party. I was just about to start getting ready.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited. I mean, I didn't know the school is able to throw such a big party for alumni. Half the entire grade is coming, apparently.
I know, it's going to be a lot of fun.
So, I guess I will see you at the reception then.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, the after party's at the Italian restaurant down the street from the school. The one owned by Penny's dad. It starts as soon as the event's over, so make sure you move quickly.
The after party? Sorry, I wasn't aware of any after party.
Well, now you are, silly. I have an important role for you, so don't be late.
Wait a second, what role? I'm sorry, but I don't think I can make it to this party. I've kind of made plans with some close friends.
Let me guess, Jane, right? I mean, who else would you make plans with?
Well, yeah, I guess. We have kept close since high school, if that's what you mean.
You two were practically glued together. You had no one else to hang out with. I guess nothing has changed over the years. The same old geeks.
Excuse me? That's quite mean for you to say.
Chill out, girl. You know I'm just playing with you. Anyway, Jane already knows about the party. I told her earlier and she gave me the same response. You guys must be twins or something, seriously. But now that you are both invited, there's no reason not to come. So I'll see you there, okay?
Wait, Alana. Sorry, I don't think we want to change our plans.
Why not? It'll be fun.
I'm sure it will be, but we have other commitments. I'm sorry.
Oh, stop it now. You don't have to pretend you have something important. Just listen to me and everything is going to be fine, okay?
Alana, I don't know why you're saying that. I'm not pretending. We actually have to be somewhere after the reunion. Besides, you don't get to decide what is important for us and what isn't. Thank you for the invitation, but I must decline. If Jane gave you the same response, I'm sure she said the same.
Oh, give me a break, smartass. You're annoying me now. Just do as I say. What else would you want more than to be invited to a party by the prettiest, most popular girl in town?
I'm annoying you? Well, I'm not going to change my answer. You can't make me come. And by the way, there are a lot of things I'd prefer more than an invitation from you, trust me. Again, sorry, but I'm not changing plans for you.
Lady, enough. I demand you come. Who said I'm giving you a choice anyway? There will be consequences if you do not show up. Understand? Oh, and by the way, the fee for the after party is $50 per person.
Alana, like I said, I'm not going. Please don't expect me to be there, especially not after what you've just said to me. I don't appreciate you being persuasive and rude. Hey, Jane, did Alana message you earlier? Hey, Olivia. Yeah, she did. I'm guessing you heard from her too. Yeah, just now. What the hell is up with her? She asked that we go to the after party, right? Exactly. I didn't even know there was going to be one. Me neither. And I told her repeatedly that we had other plans, so we can't go. But she was being so persistent. I don't think she was listening to anything I was saying. Yeah, same deal on my end. I told her the same, but she wouldn't listen. This is so weird.
Why were we even invited after all these years? Have you been in contact with her recently?
Not at all. I don't think we've spoken since graduation, or whenever it was that she last bullied us.
Me neither. I mean, if things haven't changed since high school, then I'm sure she still has her group of followers. Why would she need us to show up?
That's what I don't get either. She almost sounded desperate.
I know, she was practically ordering me. She was being so rude, saying that our plan was less important and all.
She said something similar to me, too. It was ridiculous, so I just stopped messaging back.
You're smart. I shouldn't have let her get to me like that.
I just didn't see any point in talking to her, that's all.
There must be something going on with her, and I really don't want to get involved. If she still hangs out with her bubbly friends, I'm sure they can have a good time without us.
Especially since they always looked down on us anyway.
Exactly.
But what do you think it is? Why would she demand us to show up at her party? And why out of the blue?
I bet she just wants to make a fool out of us like she always did back in the day. She just wants to feel that she's still at the top of the student hierarchy. How sad.
True that.
So just to be clear, we're not taking the invitation, correct?
Of course not. We agreed that tonight's plan is top priority. It could be a serious game changer for us. We would be idiots to let anyone ruin it, especially someone like Alana.
Okay, good. We're on the same page. I'll see you later at the reception then.
Yes, and hopefully we can avoid being seen much by her since there's going to be a bunch of people attending.
We'll need to watch each other's back, and afterward we'll move as planned.
For sure. See you in a bit.
Olivia, where the hell are you? I don't see Jane here either. I'm assuming you two are together. I hope you two aren't planning on showing up late to get everyone's attention. Don't even worry about trying, because you will never be able to pull something off like that at my party. It's not possible to steal the attention when I am there. In fact, no one would ever be interested in nerds like you, even if it wasn't my party. Oh, and by the way, I've invited Tim and Jordan as well. My plan is to go home with either of them tonight, so don't you dare try to steal them from me. To be clear, you two were invited to make me look good. So hurry up. Do your role and make me stand out. Oh, I can't wait to spend some time with them. I actually planned the after party just so that I can get to know them better. Did you even know that the two of them run their own app business? Can you imagine? The two top geeks in high school, they are filthy rich now. I saw an article about them in a business magazine the other day, and I just could not believe my eyes. And they've done a good job on their looks, too. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they were walking next to me. So I figured I'd give them a chance to be my boyfriend. Anyway, you know the deal now, so get your ass over here before the boys show up. Hey, Olivia! Why the hell did you not come to the after party? I told you that you and Jane had to show up. I can't believe the two of you had the nerve to ignore me. Tim and Jordan didn't show either. What the hell is wrong with you geeks? Ugh, my night is ruined. The only people who did show up were the other unimportant nerds and ass kissers. And they were actually getting touchy with each other at my party. Ugh, so gross. Pick up, Olivia. Who do you think you are to ignore me? I will not allow this. You can't order me to do anything, Alana. And both of us told you clearly that we were not going to make it to your party. I am sorry you couldn't enjoy it, but that's not on us. Wait, actually, I am not really sorry. Because I am sure that even if we did attend your party, you wouldn't have let Jane or I enjoy it. You were going to treat us wrongly, so there's no point in feeling sorry for you. You brought this upon yourself. Shut up. I told you you had to come. I know your plan for the night wasn't that important anyway. I mean, I, of all people, invited you to a party. You should have dropped everything and just did everything I asked you. You are way out of your league to be ignoring a popular girl like me. You don't know that our plan wasn't important. In fact, it was a very special night for us, and there was no way we were going to let you, of all people, ruin it. I beg your pardon. What the hell do you mean? As if I'm not good enough for you? I don't think you understand your position. I, the Madonna of the school, asked you and your stupid friend to come to my party. Why on earth would you not want to come? You just tossed away your once-in-a-lifetime invitation from a popular person? No one will ever invite ugly geeks like you to a fancy party.
Oh wow, is that how you think about us?
Of course, it's no secret. Ugh, what a waste of my time, though. I got dressed up and all for nothing. I don't understand why Tim and Jordan didn't show up either. I can't believe I'm going home alone tonight.
Tim and Jordan didn't show up at your party because they had important business matters.
What? How the hell would you know what they were up to tonight? Oh my god, are you making up stories now because you're jealous? You feel left out because your used-to-be nerd friends are now celebrities, aren't you? Well, face it, Olivia. Tim and Jordan are now way up in the hierarchy where I am. You should really get a grip and accept that you will never be good enough to hang out with high-class people like us.
I don't care if you consider me a nerd or a geek, but I'm telling you the truth about Tim and Jordan. They really did have to take care of business. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't believe me. They declined your invitation just as we did when you asked them to join, right? For some reason, you just assumed that we'd all be there. You have a serious issue not listening to what other people say, you know.
Wait a second. How the hell would you know that they declined my invitation this morning? You wouldn't know anything about Tim and Jordan. You can't fool me. How sad of you to bluff about boys.
I know because they told me. In fact, I am with them right now as we speak.
Huh?
They're sitting across the table from me this moment.
Are you being serious right now? You're saying that the four of you ditched me to hang out with each other? What the hell?
Ditched? No, Alana, no one ditched you. We all declined your offer, politely, until you decided to be persuasive. That's when we had to ignore your calls and messages, but it didn't start out that way, and you know it.
So you admit it. You ignored me. I'll be honest, you surprised me with your nerves. But I guess you still don't understand your position. Well, I'll show you what happens when you disobey me. Everybody knows who I am here. I am going to tell everyone what a mean bitch you are. I'll tell them that you bullied me with Jane and the boys. Everyone is going to believe me, and no one will ever talk to you again. In fact, you will never be welcome to this county again.
Alana, I am going to be frank with you. You really need to snap out of it because, unfortunately, you are not as important as you think. You might have been popular back in high school, but that was ages ago. We're not students anymore, and your nonsense will not be accepted anywhere in the real world.
Excuse me?
Speaking of the real world, as you know, Tim and Jordan are responsible for the app company you read about in the magazine. Tonight, the two were invited to a dinner meeting with a business partner who happens to be one of the top businessmen in the state.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Why, of all nights, did it have to be tonight? Oh, let me guess. You're going to say coincidence. Liar! Stop pretending like you know what they're up to, Olivia.
I guess you can say that it was partly a coincidence. You see, the boys and this business person usually meet on Skype, but since they were going to be nearby for a few days, they asked to meet in person. Understandably, though, the business partner is an extremely busy person, and the only night he could meet up was tonight. Seeing him in person to talk about business was much more important than you, obviously, so the four of us left the reunion a bit early to make it to dinner with him. And boy, are we glad we did. Because the meeting went great, and now we've just won a huge opportunity. It just ended a little while ago, and now we're chilling over coffee.
Okay, now you sound crazy. As if you were with them during the dinner.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't clear on that part, I guess. Jane and I are also among the founding members of the company.
Huh?
Can you try reading again to understand?
What? No way. You think I would believe that you work with Tim and Jordan?
You don't have to if you don't want to. I can't make you believe in anything. But it's true. You can ask around. It's not that we keep this a secret or anything, so I'm sure someone knows that the four of us work together.
Oh. Well, I never even knew you were that smart.
You were probably never interested in where the nerds ended up after high school, but all of us worked our asses off and went on to Stanford.
Stanford? You and Jane?
Yes, and Tim and Jordan as well. We ended up taking a bunch of classes together, so all four of us remained pretty close. And while we spent more time together, we began to talk about starting an app business.
That can't be true. If you say you are one of the founding members, why weren't you in the magazine with the boys?
Because neither Jane or I are comfortable being exposed to the public. We simply prefer to keep a private life. So Tim and Jordan agreed to take the lead in terms of PR.
What? Are you serious?
Yes, in fact, I think the article mentioned that the company was founded by 4 high school classmates. It wouldn't be that weird if the remaining 2 were Jane and myself, don't you think?
Wow. Well, I didn't know.
A lot of our friends from high school are aware, but hey, I wouldn't expect you to since you were completely uninterested in us.
Well, I guess surprise for me then. I never imagined you'd be so successful. Anyway, so then it's good news that you're close to the boys. You should set them up with me. At this point, whichever is fine, really. I won't be picky. That should save you some hassle, right?
I beg your pardon?
I'm saying I'd give them another chance, silly. It was too bad that they missed out on my party for work tonight. I'm sure they were upset they couldn't spend time with me. But I can be flexible for the next couple of days while they're here. And if you can arrange something for us, then I will officially let you in my group of people. I'll even invite you to my next party.
No thanks.
Huh? Why the hell not? This is your chance to become popular for once. Why would you decline such an offer?
Alana, seriously, you are the only one who is so caught up with popularity and fame and all that superficial stuff. I'm not interested in becoming a member of your group. I don't care if I'm popular or not. And for the record, I will not arrange anything for you. All 4 of us have a partner whom we are in a serious relationship with, so keep away from Tim and Jordan.
No way! All of you are in serious relationships? You and Jane as well? But you're geeks. I can't believe anyone would want to date girls like you.
Believe what you want. What you think or say doesn't affect me at all. Honestly, I just kind of think it's sad how you turned out.
Excuse me?
Anyway, I am done explaining things for you. But for the last time, none of us will ever be attending your petty parties. In fact, I doubt any of us will ever see you again. Goodbye, Alana. Good luck with life.
Wait, Olivia? I am not done talking to you. Hello? Olivia?
It's beyond my imagination how someone can be so caught up in the past, but I guess Alana had serious difficulty letting go of the good memories she had as the popular girl in high school. I later found out that even years after graduating, she had been persuading her subordinates to set her up with men of her interest at parties she would throw just for that purpose. She was too busy and blind to realize that she was gradually losing her friends because of her selfishness. By the time she did, she didn't have anyone she considered valuable around to help her hook up with men. So when she found out that the high school was throwing an official reunion party, she was over the moon, thinking she'd be able to use people that had been out of town in order to get back on dating again. I guess she also realized around the same time that Tim and Jordan were now successful and thought of me and Jane to utilize. To our surprise, though, someone told me that since after the reunion, she's become a totally different person. Being turned down by the people who she used to categorize as geeks must have been a shock to her. She completely lost her confidence and stopped taking care of herself. The last I heard, she locks herself up in her room all day, every day, doing nothing but watching TV. It's a real shame what's happened to her because she really is beautiful. If she knew how to use her outgoingness and charm the right way, I'm sure she wouldn't have ended up the way she is today. But honestly, it's unlikely that she'd attend any more of our future reunions, so I'm glad I won't have to worry about her ruining anyone's fun nights anymore.
Angie, where on earth are you right now? You're supposed to be doing your chores. I know you're off playing your silly little computer games or whatever, and if you have time to play games, then you have time to work around the house.
I moved out.
What? You're constantly barging into my room while I'm meeting with a client to scream at me about one thing or another, and you've also thrown away documents I need for work 3 times this month. I can't work in an environment like that, so I left. Ah, yes, that's a lovely fantasy, but in reality, you're nothing but an unemployed parasite. Now hurry up and get back here. Your brother will be home from work any minute now. How do you think he'll feel if there's no hot meal waiting for him? You also have laundry to do, and I've been telling you to clean the bath and toilet for 2 days now. I've got an idea. How about you do some of the housework for a change? Ever since Dad died, you've been living off of our incomes, and you haven't even held a job either, so it's not like you're too busy to do it yourself. Excuse me? Not only do I have to deal with moving into my new place, but I'm also super close to a deadline for a big project, so I'm super busy right now. Talk to you later. Hold it right there, young lady!
Hey, Angie, got a minute?
Terry? Wow, it's nice to hear from you. It's been so long.
Listen, I've got something to ask of you. And, well, it's a pretty big ask.
Uh-oh, what is it?
The thing is, the company I've been working for just went bankrupt.
Holy cow, bankrupt?
I just found out today. The CEO called a meeting out of the blue when I got to work. And that's when he broke the news. And all the other employees are freaking out.
Oh, man. Wow, I can't imagine how that must feel. All of a sudden, the job you thought you could count on just up and vanishes.
Yeah, it's definitely not a great feeling. The CEO did say that he would work around the clock with his contacts to find us all new jobs. But the company he wants to set us up with is an absolute hellscape. A couple of my college buddies worked there. They were shocked with so much overtime. It put them in the hospital. They both quit within a few months.
Yikes, oh, that doesn't sound like a place I'd want to work.
Right? So I talked to my wife about it and decided that I'm gonna go ahead and turn that offer down and find a new employment for myself. And since I'm currently living in employee housing owned by a company that's going bankrupt, I'm also gonna have to find a new place to live.
Wow, I'm sorry, Terry.
Since I'm gonna be unemployed for at least a little while, I'd be nervous about signing up for an apartment lease, and with my wife being pregnant and all.
Do you want to come and stay with me in my condo? I've got a spare room that you can use.
It would only be a temporary situation, I promise. As soon as I find work, we'll move out as soon as possible. We won't be a burden, Angie. And we might not be able to pay much, but we'll definitely give you some money toward living expenses. Now, just one big problem remains. Since Mom is currently living with us in my company's apartment, she's probably gonna come along with us.
Yeah, I figured as much.
And that's exactly why I feel so reluctant to do this to you. I know you left the house specifically to get away from her terrible treatment of you, and now I'm gonna be throwing you right back into that environment.
I understand, but you have more important things to worry about. Your wife's gonna give birth soon, right? I know you said her parents live way on the other side of the state, so you can't live with them, and it would be difficult for her to change to a completely different doctor at this point. So for you guys, considering the entirety of your situation, there really isn't any other option but to move in with me. Does that about cover it?
Yeah, you said exactly what I was just about to. I really hate to ask you to do this, Angie.
Okay, well, I totally understand your circumstances. But I think you should know that I've had a change in my own circumstances lately. And, well, I guess if you're okay with dealing with that, then I think it shouldn't be a problem for you guys to live with me on a temporary basis.
Circumstances? What's up?
It's kind of a long story, too long for texting. Could we meet up and talk things over?
Sure, no problem. How about tomorrow afternoon? Are you free?
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon works fine for me. Angie! How many times do I have to tell you before it gets through that thick skull of yours? You need to do more housework. Sure, your brother might have a wife of his own, but she just gave birth. She needs to take care of the baby. You've got the most free time on your hands, so put those hands to work. I am doing housework. Oh, you are you? Exactly what have you done this week, Go on, do tell. I've been taking turns with Terry rocking the baby back to sleep when he wakes up at night in order to let Samantha get as much sleep as possible. I also do the laundry, go shopping, wash dishes, vacuum the carpet, cook meals, clean the bath, clean the toilet, sweep the hardwood flooring, take care of paying the utility bills, and probably a few more things I've forgotten. I've never seen you doing any of that. Well, that doesn't surprise me, since you're usually too focused on whatever TV show you're watching to notice anything else going on in the house. Oh, now you're blaming me for the fact that you are a lousy homemaker? No, just saying that if you would turn off the TV every now and then, maybe you might make yourself useful one of these days. You really are an ungrateful little wretch, Angie. Even though you're being generously allowed to live in this beautiful condo, you think you can talk to me like that? Huh? I'm being allowed to live here? Yes, obviously. Out of the kindness of his heart, that Saint Terry has deigned to allow you to move in with us. Honestly, you don't deserve to benefit even in the slightest from Terry's hard work. He's such a hard worker, he was able to buy this condo the instant we had to leave his old place. I'd be more understanding if you actually had a job, but you're still just playing on your computer all day. I am working. I'm doing the exact same job I was working 3 years ago. You just didn't listen to me. I mean, seriously, Mom, where have you been the last 4 years? Everyone knows what remote work is. You might be the last person alive who doesn't understand that some people can work from home. Don't patronize me, you little brat. Of course I know what remote work is. I just recognize the reality that someone with no work experience like yourself would never be allowed to work from home. Someone as useless as you has to be closely observed, or else you'll just start slacking off. I see. I guess you're just committed to this vision you have where I'm a useless nobody, Mom. I'm committed to encouraging you to make something of yourself. I don't want you to be a useless nobody forever. The only one who thinks I'm a useless nobody is you. And for the record, I'm the one who got this condo. I started renting it 3 years ago when I first moved out of the house. And also for the record, Terry is still looking for work after his last company went bankrupt. How did you get so deluded? Deluded? Me? I mean, I know for a fact that he's told you all of this multiple times. That boy is truly a saint, telling lie after lie to his own mother to protect his good-for-nothing little sister. An upstanding man like him who can buy an amazing condo like this downtown deserves to be able to boast about his success. But instead, he's humiliating himself to protect the likes of you. Such a tragedy. I've had more of this than I can take. I'm gonna get back to work. Oh, there you go again, pretending you have work to do to get out of talking to me and doing your chores. Where did I go wrong in raising you? I feel like an utter failure. I think I might have to finally resort to more drastic measures.
Oh no, Angie, this is really bad. Mom just had all your stuff hauled away to the dump. Your furniture, clothes, files, cabinets, everything. It's all gone.
What?
She must have thought that today was her only chance since both of you and I will be out of the house. Seriously, Angie, I'm so sorry, but your room is totally empty.
Huh. Okay. That's fine. I mean, this was such perfect timing for her to do that. It's actually pretty funny.
What?
All of my stuff is actually safe and sound, exactly where I put it.
Oh, right. I totally forgot about that.
Yep, I already put everything I was going to take with me in my rental locker. The only stuff I had left in my room was stuff I was gonna be throwing away or donating to charity anyway. But, wow, I expected Mom to do something like this eventually, but this is honestly a bit earlier than I predicted.
Yeah, looks like we've come to the end of the line.
You guys should make your move as soon as possible, too. You've seen how Mom has been since you guys moved in. She's gotten even lazier and more entitled than she ever was before. Once I'm out of the picture, I'd say it's only a matter of time before she sets her sights on Samantha. You get that too, right? I can't imagine it's going to be easy to raise your kid in a peaceful, loving environment with her around.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Just remember, if you guys are having any trouble at all financially, you let me know and I'll do whatever I can. I wouldn't have any problems with you guys coming back to live with me over there, if it would help you get back on your feet.
I really appreciate it, Angie. I'll talk to Samantha tonight and see what she thinks.
Hello there, Angie. I thought you ought to know that I've had all your things taken to the dump. Want them back? Go and get them. And don't think you'll be allowed back into this condo ever again. You can live where an unemployed leech like you deserves, on the street. Now I'll be able to have a peaceful, happy life with my grandchild. Without you freeloading, things should get easier financially for your brother. And since the baby's getting older, Samantha can start doing all the housework that you refused to do. Oh, I'll never get tired of the view from this floor. This is the lifestyle I've always deserved, and it's finally mine.
Hey there, Mom. I was meaning to thank you for taking care of throwing away all that junk for me.
What?
And just so you know, I terminated the lease on that condo.
You what?
Now, I'm actually quite busy at the moment, so if you'll excuse me.
You terminated the lease? I don't understand. Angie! What sort of evil, twisted lies did you tell Terry and Samantha?
Not sure what you're talking about, Mom. What's going on with Terry and his family?
What's going on? They're gone! And it's all thanks to you and your silly threat to terminate the lease.
Threat? They knew from the very beginning that I was going to be terminating the lease. The intent was always for this to be a temporary living situation for them.
Wait, temporary?
Again, I know for a fact that Terry told you all about this. You're just being delusional.
I'm not the delusional one. You are. This whole time you've been talking as if the condo your brother worked so hard to purchase for me was yours all along, as if you could afford such a thing. And then you went so far as to call your brother unemployed. How disgraceful can you be?
Okay, so for the millionth time now, the reason Terry told you that wasn't because he was protecting me. That's all just 100% factually true information.
Again with your lies.
The company Terry was working for suddenly went bankrupt. Being newly unemployed, it would be pretty difficult for them to rent an apartment. Plus, Samantha was in the final month of her pregnancy, and the baby was set to be born any moment. So it would be a huge burden on her to move far away and get set up with a new doctor in time. And so, considering their circumstances, the possibility that made the most sense was for them to move in with me temporarily. That's why he asked me, and I agreed to let the three of you move into my condo.
But I thought he moved out of the employee housing because he bought this new condo.
He's not insane, Mom. No one would do something as stupid as buy a new condo exactly when their company went bankrupt.
But, that doesn't make any sense. If he didn't buy or rent that condo, how was he living there?
Are you starting to develop dementia, or are you just not listening to me? I rented it.
How could you? You're unemployed.
I'm a YouTuber.
A what? What on earth is that?
It doesn't surprise me that you don't know. Your generation wouldn't be very familiar with it. But I'm still taking in about $30,000 a month.
30,000? But then you're telling me that Terry's company really went bankrupt?
It was a pretty big shock to the local economy. I bet if you did a quick internet search, you'd find all sorts of news articles about it.
Oh no. You were telling the truth?
Let's get this conversation back on track now, okay? Now, the timing of Terry moving in with me was somewhat unfortunate. I've been planning to move downtown for a while, since while living in the suburbs is nice for families, it's pretty inconvenient for my work. As such, I would be terminating the lease for my old condo around the same time. I told Terry that he could live with me up until I was going to move out, so roughly 4 or 5 months, and after that he would have to find some more permanent arrangement for himself.
Wait a moment. 4 or 5 months? But I've been living here for 5 months, so...
You guessed it. The big day has finally come and I'm moving out. Terry and I have been getting ready for this move for the last several months. What about you, Mom? Have you figured out where you're going to live from now on?
Oh boy, you haven't done any planning at all? Well, I'll just keep on living with Terry and his family.
Are you serious?
Terry knows all about how terribly you were treating Samantha back when you were living in the company apartment. He told you all the way back then that he wanted you to move out, right? He wasn't thinking clearly, you see. Fortunately for you, though, it was around that same time when his company went under, which meant he had much more important things on his mind than dealing with your nonsense. But don't tell me you didn't notice. Think about it. During the last few months while we've been living together in my condo, have we ever left you alone with Samantha? Even once? Didn't you think that was a little bit strange? Now that you mention it. Yeah, well, that was all intentional. Now, the next order of business, where are you going to live now? You can live wherever you want. You can go back to your hometown, rent an apartment by yourself, join a convent. The choice is yours. Wait a moment. Oh, this is all far too sudden. We've been telling you for months. You just haven't been listening. So no, I'm not going to let you sit there and be all like, oh no, poor me, I had no idea this was coming. But I really am unprepared for this. Now that I think about it, Terry did mention talking to Aunt Virginia about what we were going to do with you. Aunt Virginia? You talked to my sister? Yep. What were you thinking? You know how that woman is. She was an MMA fighter for years. Her solutions to problems always involve her fists. If I have one piece of advice to give you, it's this. I strongly suggest you do the housework on your own from now on. Oh, no. Now, I've got a very big collab project coming up, so if you'll excuse me, I've got a ton of preparation to do. Wait, Angie! Bye, Mom. On the day they moved out of the condo, my brother showed up to the house with the moving company and my Aunt Virginia in tow. Mom started crying and screaming like, I don't want to move. I want to live here. I want to live with my grandchild. I don't want to do any chores. But Aunt Virginia's specialty full Nelson put a stop to that. She dragged her into her car and drove off to her house way out in the forest outside the city. As for my brother, my media network happened to be looking for someone with solid business experience, and when they looked at Terry's resume, they offered him the job right there on the spot. So Terry and his family moved downtown with me. Well, not really with me, but they did get an apartment in the same area of town, so we can spend all the time together that we'd like. When Mom heard that we were all living happily and peacefully in the city, she tried to make her big escape from Aunt Virginia's house. But she didn't even get 3 steps out of the front door when Aunt Virginia put her in a textbook figure 4 lock. And when she tapped out, she dragged her right back inside. And she remains there to this day, undergoing the very, very strict rehabilitation program run by my dear Aunt Virginia. Hey there, Mom. I found an odd amount of water pooled up on the ground underneath the laundry I hung out on the line before I left this morning. You went and poured buckets of water all over them, didn't you? Another thing, I made a big pot of beef stew to have for dinner tonight, but I can't seem to find the pot or the stew anywhere. I suppose this is your doing as well, yeah? Plus, it seems that someone has dumped the garbage from the garbage can all over the living room floor. Would you mind telling me exactly why you did all of that? You really want to know, Judy? You call yourself a housewife, yet feel entitled to completely abandon your responsibilities at home. You're supposed to be doing housework, not having luncheons with your friends. I did all the housework. I'm asking why you felt compelled to completely ruin all the housework that I did. You know, the laundry, cooking, and cleaning. As I just said, it's your fault for abandoning your responsibilities around the house. You left the house and it fell into ruin. You can't blame me for that. It wasn't a luncheon, and I wasn't gallivanting. I was going to take care of my mom in the hospital. I told you about this beforehand. I can't put all the burden of caring for her on my brother and his wife, so I'm going down to help out when I can to give them a break. Don't be ridiculous. Of course you can put it all on her. That's her job. She married into your family, didn't she? When you married into this family, you agreed to prioritize our needs over your old family's. That's what it means to be a wife. Your brother's wife made the same deal. And allow me to repeat myself, you're a housewife. What sort of housewife doesn't take care of the housework? You have a job to do here, and you'll do it or else. Allow me to repeat myself. I did do the housework. I did the laundry and hung it on the line. I made a big pot of beef stew for dinner. I cleaned the living room and vacuumed the floor. I did all of that. And then you came along and ruined everything I did. Do you have any evidence it was me? Yes. What? Did you forget? We have security cameras monitoring the house in every room. They've been there since before you moved in with us. You knew all about them. You mean you actually had those things turned on? Yeah. What good are security cameras if they're not on? That's an egregious invasion of my privacy. I'll be having a little talk with Jake about this. Go ahead. He's the one who told you about the security cameras, though, so I'm not sure how much good it'll do you. You'll get what's coming to you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get to work on redoing all the housework that I already did this morning, thanks to you. Also, I won't be able to have dinner ready in time, so I'm not sure where you are right now, but go ahead and get something for yourself on the way home. Unbelievable! Now you're slacking off on making dinner for us? I'm terribly sorry, but you and the friends you called over for lunch today ate all the beef stew that I was planning to have for dinner, so you'll just have to make do. You can't talk to me that way! Right now, that's the most civil language I can use with you. Impudent little girl, I am your mother-in-law! I'm done with this conversation. I want to get the housework done before midnight. Jake, your mother did it again today.
What?
She called her friends over for lunch today, and they ate up all the beef stew that I had made for dinner.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I saw it all on the security monitors. To add insult to injury, she even told her friends that she was the one who made it. She also dumped buckets of water all over the laundry that I had put out on the line to dry. And to top it all off, she dumped the garbage out all over the living room floor I had just vacuumed.
Unreal. She just moved in 3 days ago. I can't believe my own mother would behave so childish.
On the first night, she threw the dinner I made away and said it was disgusting. Then yesterday, she told me I was folding the clothes wrong, so she threw them all out of the closet and made me fold them again. I know she's your mother, and I don't want to be disrespectful toward her, but, this is all just too much, right?
I'm so sorry, Judy.
Well, it's nothing for you to be sorry about. The apartment she was living in by herself burned down in a freak accident, leaving her with nowhere to go on short notice. What else were we supposed to do? We couldn't just kick her out onto the curb.
For now, I'll just tell her that she needs to sign a new lease and move out as soon as possible. Her apartment was pretty standard. It won't be too hard to find one that's on the same level. Be okay with it. We can help her out with moving in her initial expenses to help her move out of the house even sooner.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. If I knew exactly when she'll be leaving, it could make dealing with her a bit easier.
Again, I'm really sorry to be putting you through this. Let me know if anything else happens, okay?
Thanks, Jake. I'll do that.
I'm getting in the car right now. Do you want me to pick you up something on my way home?
You know what? That sounds absolutely fantastic.
What are you in the mood for? I was thinking tacos.
I'm fine with whatever you want to have.
Gotcha. Okay, see you in a bit.
Drive careful, Jake. I love you. I don't believe you, Judy. Are you actually going out again? How shameless can you be? A housewife who constantly refuses to do housework and goes out into town every day? I'm more disappointed in you than I can describe. I can't take any more of this. You think you can live off my son's hard-earned money while contributing absolutely nothing to the family, but I won't allow that to continue. You and Jake are getting divorced. Mom, what is wrong with you? You put all of my things down by the curb? And my key doesn't work. Did you actually change the locks on me? I can't get into the house. Oh, you finally came crawling back home, did you? I hope you had fun during your night on the town. Just when I started to think you couldn't possibly become any worse of a parasite, you go out and party the night away until morning. My mom had a major surgery yesterday, and I was staying at my parents' house overnight. I told you all of this beforehand, so I won't let you pretend that you didn't know. And that's all besides the point. Why did you throw all of my things down on the curb? You had better have a very good explanation for this. It's all very simple, Judy. I'm kicking you out of this house. What? What makes you think you have the right to kick me out of my own home? Your home? What on earth are you talking about? This isn't your home. Not anymore. I have no need for a housewife who's never around the house. Get out and never come back. I won't allow you to mooch off my dear son for one more second. Take your things and leave, you worthless parasite. Starting today, this house belongs to me and my son. Is that so? Well then, starting next month, your rent will be $3,500 a month. What?
Mom.
Oh, there you are, Jay. That awful Judy has lost her mind. You'll never believe what she just told me. When I told her I was kicking her out of the house, she told me I'd have to pay rent. And do you know how much she said rent was? $3,500. Oh, where does she get off? You'll have to be careful of her after the divorce, Jake. She'll try and come after your money again, I'm sure of it. I bet that whole rent nonsense is just her attempt to keep up her pampered lifestyle without having to work for herself for once. I don't know how she even thinks she could charge me rent at all. Oh, goodness, what did you ever see in that girl?
I don't know, Mom. Seems pretty straightforward to me. When someone lives in your house, they become your tenant and you become their landlord. That's how real estate works.
Wait, what?
The house title is in Judy's name, Mom.
It's Judy's? What do you mean?
You tried to kick Judy out of the house to live there without her just now, didn't you? Well, if you want the owner of the house to leave the house, seems pretty obvious that you'd have to pay her rent.
That's ridiculous. The house is yours, isn't it?
Nope, it's not. Legally, the house belongs to Judy.
But, that's impossible. She doesn't work. All she does is leech off of your hard-earned money. How could she afford to buy a house?
Actually, Judy isn't a housewife. Not a full-time one, anyway.
You're not making any sense.
She manages apartment buildings and parking lots.
She does? Oh, this is the first I've ever heard of this.
She doesn't talk about it much because back when she started, she actually had to cut off ties with a couple old friends who that just because she was the building owner, that she would rent to them for free or cheap. Tell you the truth, I didn't even know about it until after I proposed to her. With her rental income, we decided that only one of us would need to work. When we started trying to have kids, she quit the office job she had been doing and just kept up her real estate business.
But she's asking for $3,500 a month. Isn't that insane?
Given the area and the size of the house, I say that's fair market value, honestly.
But I'm her mother-in-law. She can't take money from me.
Yeah, the thing about that is yes, she absolutely can. She owned the house and gave you her terms. If you want to keep living there, pay her $3,500 a month. If you don't like it, there's only one thing for you to do. Move out.
Move out?
That was always the plan from the beginning, wasn't it? You said when you moved in that you'd only be living with us for as long as it took to get a new apartment.
Well, I was only saying that to be polite. I thought you'd be fine with me continuing to live here, well, permanently.
I did consider the possibility that things might turn out that way when you first moved in, yeah. But that all went out the window on the very first day when you started verbally abusing Judy before you even had your suitcases unpacked.
Verbal abuse? Oh, that's nonsense. I did no such thing.
If you really think you weren't being verbally abusive, all I could say is yikes. Judy wanted to stay out of it and let you find a new place at your own pace, out of respect for you as my mother and sympathy for your last place burning down. But now that you're trying to kick her out and take the house for your own, you've got to understand that anymore, there's not a snowball's chance in hell that you'll be able to keep living with us.
No, but, well, then where am I supposed to go?
Figure it out yourself. You have a job, don't you? You have means. You're an adult. You're more than capable of finding and paying for your own apartment. Why are you so intent on living with us permanently?
Well, I sort of got fired.
You got fired? What the hell did you do, Mom?
I didn't do anything wrong. Not the way I see it, anyway. I mean, it's a big company, right? Oh, they had more than enough things like toilet paper, coffee, snacks. So I took some home with me from time to time.
Oh, no.
And then I started doing it more and more. They said if I paid the company back for the amount I took home with me, then they wouldn't press charges. And that ate through practically all of my savings.
You're lucky that's all they did to you. That's theft, Mom. It's a crime.
Really?
Yes, really. How could you not get that? I don't believe this. You treated Judy like she was a parasite when you were the one who was freeloading. Yep, there's no way I'm gonna let you live with us after this.
Oh, Jake, don't say that. How will I go on if I can't live here anymore? What am I supposed to do?
Find a job as a live-in maid or something, I don't know.
Jake!
Whatever you do from now on is no longer any concern of mine.
What are you saying?
I have a message from Judy for you. You can continue living in that house if you want, but I'm not budging on my terms. The price is $3,500 a month, no less. If you can't pay it, then I want you out of the house by the end of the month. End of story.
But, oh, you don't agree with her, do you?
Do I really need to ask? Yes, I am 100% on Judy's side in all of this, and I always will be.
Not you too, Jake.
If only you hadn't been so horrible to Judy, we might have at least helped set you up with a nice apartment somewhere nearby, or even allowed you to stay with us on a more semi-permanent basis. That's long gone now, though, and you have only yourself and your horrendous evil behavior to blame.
Jake, wait!
I always knew you had a bit of a self-centered side to you, Mom, but I never thought you'd do a thing like this. I'll come by to pick up my things from that house after you moved out as soon as you possibly can. Don't feel like you have to wait until the end of the month either. The sooner you're out of our life, the better.
Jake's mother's inability to consider the possibility that she was in the wrong seems to have been a recurring theme for her. Even her husband, Jake's father, had been putting up with her for years, and when Jake moved out of the house several years ago, he decided that the time was right and divorced her. On the very last day of the month, my mother-in-law managed to find a job with employee housing and rushed to move all of her things out of the house. It seems that a $3,500 rent was just a little bit above her budget. Isn't that a shame? As for Jake and I, we decided to rent out that house for some additional income. We're now living in a comfortable little condo that's right at the halfway point between my parents' house and Jake's office. Jake still gets texts from his mom on occasion, but all she ever talks about is how much she hates her job. Sometimes I come close to feeling sorry for her, but when I think about her awful behavior and total lack of remorse, I remember that she's getting exactly what she deserves. We haven't blocked her number, but that's just so we can keep tabs on her. We have no intention to involve ourselves with her ever again. Hey, Travis. Have you seen the group text Kathy sent out to the family?
Hey, Linda. Yeah, I saw it. I can't believe it. Our little Kathy is getting married. Seemed like just yesterday she graduated high school. Her fiancé is coming this Saturday, right? Can't wait to meet him.
She's 25, Travis. 7 years isn't exactly yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it feels like yesterday. It's just crazy to think that when we first got married, she was only 5 years old. She's been a part of my life for so long that I honestly feel like she's my real daughter, not just my stepdaughter.
I guess I can understand why you'd feel that way, but just remember one thing. It's only a feeling. You can enjoy the feeling while it lasts, but it'll never be more than that.
Huh?
You might have been acting as a stand-in for her father for 20 years, but that's all you'll ever be. You're not her real father.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm aware of that, but geez, do you have to be so harsh to me like that?
Do you think I'd be talking to you like this without a reason?
Linda, what's going on? What are you trying to say?
If I have to spell it out for you, I'm saying that your time is up, Travis. I've been talking to Kathy's father, Nate, and we've decided to get back together.
What?
Back when we divorced, Nate was working at a super high-stress company. The stress got to him, and he had a mental breakdown that cost him his job. I figured there would be no way he could support Kathy and me until he worked his issues out, so I asked him to divorce me, and he agreed. But now it's been 20 years since then. We met up again about 6 months ago, and he was like a brand new man. He's a high-powered executive now. He runs his own company. Kathy knows you're not her real father, and since she's out on her own now, I figured it was about time her real father stepped back into the role officially.
Linda, what are you saying?
You really still don't get it? I want Kathy's real father to walk her down the aisle at the wedding as my husband. It's time, Travis. We're getting divorced. I think that should make it crystal clear, right? I want to get it done as soon as possible, before plan on it. By the way,
What is it?
how are you doing after, well, you know?
Ah, that. Yeah, your mom dropped that thermonuclear warhead on me while I was on my lunch break today. Apparently her and Nate are getting back together, so she wants me out of the picture.
Yeah, that's my understanding too. Seriously, how can she do a thing like this? I was so shocked when she told me what was going on that I couldn't speak. I couldn't cry. I could barely even move. And then she told me I don't need to worry about you because since Nate's some big shot businessman, she can leave you all the assets in the divorce.
Oh, wow. I'm touched that she's going out of her way to be so considerate to me. She's so generous. A regular Mother Teresa.
Did she tell you anything else?
She said she wants to get the divorce settled by Saturday so she can introduce Nate as your father when Mitch comes over this weekend.
Saturday? Isn't that just a teensy bit soon?
Her plan is to have Nate walk you down the aisle at your wedding and have him at the family table as her husband. She said she wants to avoid having any awkward conversation with Mitch's family, so she only wants them to ever meet Nate.
What? No, not a chance. That is not happening. Absolutely not. I mean, sure, he may be my biological dad, but he hasn't been any part of my life in 20 years. I barely even met him.
I thought you'd feel that way, but your mother seems to have it in her head that you'd have the same position as her in all of this. It looks like her assumption missed the mark a bit.
Seriously? But, I mean, I've already talked to Mitch about our family's circumstances. He knows the whole story. Sure, I never told Mom that I talked to him, but did she really think I'd withhold a detail that massive from my own fiancé?
Yeah, and what's more, Mitch and I have already met, so I'm not sure what she thinks she's preventing.
I know, right? But I guess Mom doesn't know about that either. And another thing, about the wedding, Mitch and I were planning on telling you guys this when he comes by on Saturday, but we're not going to do a formal ceremony. We're doing what's called a photo wedding, where you just take pictures as if it were a real wedding.
Oh, really? You know, I think I have heard of those before.
Yeah, they're kind of a new thing. Mitch's parents both passed away when he was young, and he has no siblings, so we thought it would be a good plan. Plus, you know, I'm not one for gaudy events, getting dressed fancy, being paraded in front of a bunch of people, that sort of thing.
I see. Glad you're on the same page.
Oh, the people at the venue did say that it was okay to bring guests along on the day of the photo shoot. I'm going to send you an invitation to that, so be sure to save the date, okay?
Gotcha. I'll be sure to set it aside.
That leaves one problem, though. Mom.
Yeah, that's kind of a big problem.
After all, I'm pretty sure Mom still has no idea that we know she's been having an affair, and this whole "we just happened to run into each other" nonsense is all a cover. There's no way she'd be telling that bold of a lie if she knew.
You're right.
So what do you think, Dad? What are you gonna do?
Well, she just handed me the divorce papers a bit ago.
Wow, already?
Yep, I'm gonna make my move tomorrow.
Tomorrow, huh? Well, I'm rooting for you, Dad.
Thanks, sweetheart. Hi, Linda. I submitted the divorce papers to the courthouse on my way home from work.
Wow, already? You're more obedient than I thought you would be. Good boy.
Yeah, I just want to get this out of the way so I can get on with my life.
Oh, well, good for you. All I want is to be divorced as soon as possible, so the sooner the better.
Right, the sooner the better. So, the sooner you get out of
messaged her. She said that she didn't want to see me, so she was hiding out at her fiancé's house for a while. First Nate, now Kathy. Why? Why is this happening to me?
Ordinarily, I would just tell you to talk to my lawyer again, but since this has to do with Kathy, allow me to fill in the blanks.
Hurry up and tell me what's going on with her.
Kathy knew that you were having an affair.
She did? How?
She saw the two of you in the act with her own two eyes. She could tell that the guy you were with had the same eyes as she did. It wasn't that hard to figure out what was going on.
She saw us. Oh no.
It doesn't make a bit of difference that the two of you were married in the past. You were married to me at the time. You betrayed my trust. You're nothing but a low-down, good-for-nothing cheater.
But he's not just my ex-husband, he's Kathy's real dad.
Real? Why are you so caught up on that word? Who's more of her real dad? The one who took her to her first day of school, went to her high school graduation, and paid for her college education? Or the one who has been completely out of her life for as long as she's had a mind of her own? And when she talks about her dad, she's not talking about Nate. She's talking about me.
Be that as it may, I'm still her mother.
If only you hadn't cheated on me, we'd still be married and you'd still be able to enjoy the same happy, loving relationship with your daughter that you always had. Shame. Damn shame.
But you don't understand. He's a high-powered executive running his own business.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet he makes significantly more than me. A mid-level employee at a mid-sized firm, so he'd definitely be able to provide you with a much higher standard of living than I can right now. Maybe you should have divorced me before shacking up with him.
Well...
All you had to do was be honest. Sure, you may have had a bit of issues to work out, but you could have wound up in a much happier, more positive position than the one you find yourself in now.
Travis, do you think we can work things out between us?
Not a chance in hell.
I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. We can start over, get a fresh start.
I'm done talking to you.
No!
Now, for real this time. Anything else you want to say to me? Tell it to my lawyer.
I don't want to talk to your lawyer. I want to talk to you.
If you'd like to arrange a meeting with me, talk to my lawyer. He'll tell you no, though.
Travis, wait!
With nowhere else to run, Linda went crawling back to her parents' house to live with them. My lawyer went over there to discuss the possibility of settling my lawsuit for her affair out of court, which she agreed to. It seems like at the time she assumed that her parents would agree to foot the bill for her. But they're both retired and on a fixed income, so there was no way they could scrounge together the money to pay the bill for her. In the end, her father arranged for her to go be a live-in maid at the house of an acquaintance of his. 6 months after that, Linda crashed into the wedding venue for Kathy's wedding and shouted, "I'm the mother of the bride. I deserve to be a part of this." However, Kathy's photo shoot had taken place a week earlier. When she realized her mistake, she went completely berserk and started trashing the place. Which means that now she has 2 lawsuit debts she needs to work off. Thanks to her escapades, the guy who hired her decided he didn't want anything to do with her, so he fired her and kicked her out onto the street. And the street is where she's been living ever since, doing odd jobs here and there in a futile attempt to get herself out of debt.
Hey, Caden. It's been around 5 years now since last time I seen ya. Is this actually you, Devon? Before leaving the company years ago, you were in the same department as myself. You were a veteran there, pretty much. Yep, that's me. Well, long time no see, Devon. I haven't gotten a text or anything from you in so long now that I almost forgot about you. Did you need anything from me today? You being so nonchalant about all this must really mean you haven't noticed anything's going on yet. What are you talking about? Currently, you are working for Richardson's subsidiary company, correct? Yes, I am. And? Did I ever talk with you about what I've been up to ever since I left the previous company? Because I don't think I have, nor have I spoken with anyone else that would have been talking to you about me. Well, yesterday and today, I've been staying at a hotel right across from that company you're a part of now. And as I've been leaving the hotel today, and coming back into it, I've seen you going in and out of that office building quite a few times now. Ah, so you were able to notice me. I'm sorry that I never saw you across the street. I was probably in a bit of a rush all those times and never had a chance to look around. But here's the thing. You done something really stupid and unnecessary. What exactly are you talking about? Something unnecessary and stupid? I understand that Richardson is a very large company and all that, but you're not a part of that company, but rather a part of a small subsidiary of it, right? You made this huge deal 5 years ago about how you'd be transferring to this amazing new company, and you ended up there in some small subsidiary company, living in the shadows of a massive conglomerate. Being a part of a little company like that just goes to show how much of a loser you really are. And that's what I mean by something unnecessary. You went from a really good job working with me to some small company making about half the amount you did before, right? And you bragged about something like that to me. That's not something I've had to deal with. And bragging? You don't have to try covering up your past with me now, man. So, is this your reason for texting me, then? To check and see if I really was the man who was walking out of that office building? Well, that's right. Actually, I happen to have a good friend in Richardson's upper management, and I just wanted to let you know about that as well. Oh, is that right? I'm not too sure how that information will be helpful to me, but I'll make sure to remember that just in case. Yeah, you should. I'm sorry, Devon, but are we done here? I'm actually stopped in my car right now, texting you, so if you have nothing more to say, I'd like to get back on the road. I'll see. I have nothing else to tell you, so go right ahead. Goodbye, then, Devon. Hey, if it isn't Caden. Why the heck are you here right now? What? Devon? Hey, you stop it right there. Don't you bother coming over to me, talk face to face. I'm assuming that since you're in the same lobby as me right now, all suited up, that means you'll be going to the same wedding as me. But I don't want anyone here thinking that I'm friends or have worked with someone who's now working for a small, insignificant subsidiary company. Especially on a day like today, when my father is the one getting married, and all his family and friends are here seeing me. What? You're telling me that the executive director who's getting married today is also your father? That's right. Oh, I never knew that. Your father happens to be the executive director, Michael Walters. I just assumed the last name Walters was a common last name and that you didn't have any family ties to him. Well, let me ask you this now. What the heck is someone like you at his wedding today? Well, I was invited to be at this wedding. There's no way someone invited a loser like you. I'm telling the truth, though. I'm sure you were never aware of this, but I happen to go to the same university as your father. You actually expect me to believe that just because you both went to the same uni, he'd want someone like you here? Calm yourself down there, bud. But your father and I happen to be really good friends, though. Huh? My father? Friends with a man like you? We happen to have relations to one another outside work, and that happens to involve the two of us going out a lot for drinks and things like that. And because of that friendship we have, he wanted me to be here at his wedding. Really? Well, if that's the case, then let me have a look at the invitation he sent you. I'll be waiting out in the parking lot for you, so come out and show me. Is it wrong for me to just show it to you right now, since we're both here in the lobby? I want to take a look at it somewhere where there are no other people. If something were to happen between us, I don't want anyone else seeing it. I don't think there's going to be anything happening between us, but all right then. Do you mind heading out there before me? I'll just be a few minutes. Why do I have to wait? Don't tell me you're going to try running from me now, right? Well, if you've finally realised you're not wanted here and want to run home, guess I won't mind that too much. I'm not running away. I have actually been really wanting to go to the restroom for a little bit now, and that's where I'll be heading. Jesus. Oh, so that's what this is all about. Oh, the restroom. Well, if that's all you want to do, then hurry it up. Will do. See you in a bit. You're a freaking loser, you. It's been 5 years since the last time I've been able to do something like that. And man, did that punch send you flying. Oh, I love this feeling so much. I was able to land a really solid hit this time. Sent you right into the ground. I have to say, your face the whole time was priceless as you sat there squirming on the ground. How's it feel, man? Devon, been 5 years now and still nothing has changed with you. Are you coming out in front of me like that again? Is the problem here? I'm sure you'll not be coming to the wedding now, since your face is a complete mess. Well, of course. Me going into that wedding in this state would cause everyone to be surprised, right? Well, listen, I knew from the beginning that you telling me about having an invitation was a lie, so this is my plan all along. Now, listen to me. You think my father would ever invite you to a wedding like this when you're nothing more than a low-level worker? I was going to show you the invitation from the executive director, but right before pulling it out, you punched me in the face. I'm guessing that was just going to be a fake anyway, right? So there's no point in showing me that anyway. So now that I've once again gotten another good punch into you, you'll go home, right? And that's right. If I don't head home now, I'm only going to become more and more worked up. I've never once seen my elite father hanging out with anyone as low life as you are, so don't you dare think I'm going to believe that for a second. So now that you know I'm not falling for your crap, you can head back to your home and get ready to work back at that tiny company again tomorrow. Oh, understood. Oh, could you please make sure to tell your father that for me? However, he may react in a way that you might not like, and I don't really want to hear from you about it. You've already lost, so just shut up and go away. Hurry up, vanish from my world, you loser. Righty then, time to get to that wedding. I'll finally get to talk with my father again, after 10 long years having to live outside his house. Hey, Caden, you get your butt back to this wedding right now. If you don't come back, I'm going to be screwed. Please hurry up. Get back here. I'm sorry, but right now I'm in the hospital, getting my face and head taken care of, so I won't be able to come back that way for some time. Then you tell my father right now that what's going on with you, so he'll understand. Oh, crap. This is really crappy for me. Right after you went back inside after punching me, you were taken into custody, right? That's right. I thought I chose the right place to hit you without anyone being around to notice, but there was someone in the parking garage watching us, and that turned out to be my brother of all people. Well, I had asked for him to be there. Huh? Of course, I'd asked for someone to come witness what was going on there. And back when we both worked at the same company together, you always hated me, because I happened to go to a really good school and had a lot of good scores there. And after 10 years of you never seeing your father because he happened to kick you out of the house, you thought you could waltz into your father's wedding and get away with seeing him again. And the fact that you have known nothing about your father this whole time, yet came to his wedding acting like the boss, really tells me that you have not changed at all since the last time we were around one another. What? I'll have you know I'm not going to be helping you get out of the situation you've landed yourself in today. Huh? You think I'm going to help the man that punched me in the face, sending me to the ground? I have absolutely no reason to do something like that. And no matter how much of a social outcast you really are, Devon, you have to understand that what you did this time will not go unnoticed. Oh, you don't have to give me all that crap right now. At least come back to this wedding and please my father for me. Devon, along with the fact that I'm really good friends with your father, have you ever asked him what relationship I have with him when it comes to the business side of things? I've heard from him already. You happen to be the grandson of Richardson's president, and as of right now, you've been left with the responsibility of running that subsidiary company as the CEO. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of the position I hold, but to think you'd act in such a way around someone as high up as me. Jesus, I get it already. You are the CEO of that company and are above me. Now could you please just come back to the wedding when you're done there? I need you to come here and help me. Look, you should be happy to hear me begging for help from you now, right? What did you just say to me? Do you not give a crap about what'll happen to me? There's no reason in me going to that wedding anymore anyway. It's because of what you've done that the wedding is being cancelled. Huh? The wedding's being cancelled now? Caden, lend me some money. You're not just some small employee, but a CEO, so you should have money to lend to me, right? Since the two of us used to work together a lot. Look, how's about you give me $120,000 for now? You really have made a joke of yourself now, Devon. You have the money, right? I think I know what this is about. Due to the fact that you made a huge scene at the wedding and had it cancelled, you're being stuck with paying for the cancelled wedding. And I'm assuming your father wants a settlement from you now as well. Give me $120,000. Devon, do you realise that you're asking me for money when you're going to owe me money through a settlement? That's a bit backwards, don't you think? What? Huh? By the way, Devon, 3 years ago you happened to be fired from that company we both used to work for, right? Why do you know about that? I heard about you from one of my other co-workers there. I'm aware now that the real reason you came to that wedding you were never invited to was to get your father and ask him for some money, right? Is it so wrong for me to be going to my father's wedding without an invite? Oh, don't forget that he told you he was cutting ties to you and that he never wanted you near him ever again. Ugh. And now there is one more thing you might want to know about. After you gave me that punch and started to rush out of the parking garage, you ran into a pregnant woman and pushed her to the ground. When you should have been offering to help her up, you instead started to yell at her about getting in your way, and then left her there, on the ground, to try and get up herself. And what about that? That pregnant witch was in my way, so I had to push her over. Well, that pregnant woman. She happens to be the older sister of the bride. What? And if that's not helping you to understand what's going to happen here, that woman is like your father's sister to him. In other words, you just assaulted his older sister. When you knocked her down on your way out there, she landed on her stomach and felt some immediate, sharp pain. She called for an ambulance, and it turned into a huge deal. In the end, this occurrence was all captured on a security camera there at the garage. And when your father was shown the recorded video of what happened, well, at least his sister-in-law and her baby are all right now. But you can see why that wedding ended up getting cancelled, right? Well, things turned out that bad for her then. Well, it so happens that your father and his new in-laws all knew about how he had to cut ties to you before, and so his wife isn't going to hold anything that happened against him. By the way, am I the first one to explain all of this story to you when it's already been a few days since it happened now? What? That's what I thought. You haven't been talked to by anyone since then, or you haven't been listening to them. Hey, Caden, what about that money? Oh, shut the hell up about it. Never talk to me again, you freak. Just as I had finished texting Devon about the whole situation, his father came out to get him and took him back into his custody, and after that he was put through the ringer by, well, just about everyone. To try and hide all the things that had been going on, he didn't let anyone take his smartphone from him, and even poured water over it in a last-ditch effort to try and hide the evidence. But everyone was able to get the phone away from him just as he poured the water on it, and it was still accessible. There, they were all able to read through Devon's conversations with me, and with that, his father was able to make sure Devon would be paying him for both the cancelled wedding and the settlement. And, as a way of forcing Devon to make money, his father, the executive director of Richardson, has sent him overseas to a factory for the company, where he works long hours every day, making money to pay off his debts. A month after that happened, Devon sent his dad a letter from overseas asking to please let him come home. But his father responded back by saying he had 20 more years of work to do in order to pay off every penny. In the end, Devon had ended up with a total of 3 settlements that he was being asked to pay, and with all of those fees from the cancelled wedding. 1 settlement from his father, 1 from his father's sister-in-law, and 1 from myself for assaulting me. So with all 3 of those settlements and the cost of that whole wedding being asked from him, I can understand why he wanted me to lend him that $120,000, and why it'll take him close to 20 years to work that amount off, depending on where he's having to work. Of course, there is more money than just that he owes, but that $120,000 is just the amount being charged to him for the wedding. When it comes to myself and all the damages from that punch he gave me, well, they're finally starting to go away and all be healed up. All I can say is it feels great being back to a normal life, not having to worry about Devon's presence anymore. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Molly, what's the meaning of this? What's going on here? Molly, where are you? Answer me! Molly! Pick up your phone, Molly! This instant!
What do you want? And could you stop blowing up my phone with notifications already? It's getting annoying.
There you are! It's about time you answered me. Now, would you tell me what's going on with the house? I just got home and the front door was locked!
Oh, that? I can explain that. I moved while you were away on your vacation.
You moved? What do you mean you moved?
Oh, you need me to explain that too? It's very simple, Keith. When someone moves, it means they go and live in a different house. I took all my stuff and started living in a new place, so that means I moved. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Are you mocking me right now?
Why would you think that? You asked me a question, so I answered it. Oh, did you not understand that explanation earlier? Should I draw you a picture or something? Would that help you?
You're out of your goddamn mind, Molly! Either you've gone completely insane or you're just pulling some stupid joke on me! Which is it?
It's neither, actually. I'm not out of my mind or insane or joking. I just used my big girl brain to do some serious thinking, came to the obvious conclusion, and acted on it. Now, would you like me to give you some helpful advice on what you should do next? You see, there are these wonderful, magical devices called keys. You have a bunch of them on a loop called a keychain. So take your keychain, find the key that fits into the front door, and open it.
Knock that off, obnoxious woman! Yes, Molly, I already took my magical key and unlocked the door. You actually went and took all your stuff out of the house? What on earth do you think you're doing, Molly? Why are you acting this way?
You mean you really don't know why?
How am I supposed to know? I just got back into town after being away on business for a week, and all of a sudden my wife has moved out? Explain yourself!
You were away on business, were you?
Yes, I was! I already told you that before I left! And what about Tyler? Where is he?
You don't have to worry about him. He's with me, of course. Didn't you look in his room? All his stuff is gone, too.
This is absolutely unreal, Molly! You dragged our son along on this stupid, immature stunt of yours?
It's all right. I told him exactly what's going on. He's not scared, confused, or anything, so there's no problem.
Of course there's a problem! There are nothing but problems here! And you still haven't explained to me why you're doing this, so let's start there! Well, Molly, why are you doing all this?
I don't know, I still have a hard time believing that you don't already know exactly why this is happening.
Well, believe it or not, I'm completely clueless as to what's running through that thick head of yours. All I know is that my idiot wife has gone and done yet another stupid and selfish thing.
I'm sorry, yet another? Just what do you mean by that?
You're always doing or saying some kind of stupid or selfish thing around the house. You mean to tell me you don't even realize that? God, you're so oblivious. I really can't stand you when you're like this.
When have I said or done something stupid or selfish? I don't know, I'm drawing a blank. Can you give me an example?
You want examples, huh? How much time do you have? I could go on all day. How about just last month? I checked my bank transaction history and found out that you took money out of my account without my permission. And I don't think you ever told me what in God's name you did with that money. So what did you do with it? You go on a little shopping spree? Is that how you paid for your new handbag?
Wrong on all counts, I'm afraid. First of all, that bank account is not your account, it is our shared account. And as for my new handbag, I paid for it entirely out of the money I earned at my part-time job. I got a pretty good deal on it, I must say. Also, most importantly, I did tell you what I was withdrawing that money for. I needed it to pay for Tyler's field trip at school.
Oh, is that what you used it for? Well, if that's really the case, then you should have told me beforehand.
Hello? Earth to Keith. Earth to Keith. Do you read me? I did tell you beforehand. You just either weren't listening or forgot.
Whatever. All right, so maybe you were right about that one. But I still got way more I can talk about. How about that time a few months back when my mom was talking to you about Tyler's education? She was giving you all sorts of valuable advice, but you just completely blew her off and did what you wanted to do. She was trying to be helpful and you were disrespectful to her.
Wait, are you talking about the private tutor thing?
That's exactly what I'm talking about. My mom gave you a whole number of great ideas that would be super beneficial for Tyler's future, but you didn't take any of them. Do you know how much it hurt her to be ignored like that?
Okay, let's get a few things straight. I did not ignore her. She gave her advice and I took it into consideration. However, Tyler is our son and this is his future that we're talking about. It's not your mother's place to be making decisions on ours or Tyler's behalf. And for the record, your mom's suggestions were to hire an expensive private tutor and have Tyler take piano lessons. The problem? Tyler doesn't want to play the piano. He's more into sports. He wanted to join the soccer team, so I allowed him to. That's all. Tyler's old enough to make these sorts of decisions for himself, and we all need to respect that.
Oh, you mean it was Tyler's decision to play soccer? All right, I guess you have a point there, too.
And yet again, I told you that Tyler wanted to join the soccer team months ago. So do you have any other examples of all these stupid and selfish things I say and do? The only examples you've given me so far have been times when you just don't listen to what I told you.
I've got plenty more. About a week before I left on my business trip, I came home early, and what did I find? You were making Tyler do all of your housework while you just laid down on the sofa. How do you explain that, huh?
You're talking about 2 Fridays ago, aren't you? I started feeling kind of sick in the afternoon that day, and after I had finished getting dinner ready, Tyler came up to me and said that he'd take care of cleaning up and that I could go ahead and rest. Isn't he a kind boy? He's always so thoughtful like that.
Wait, Tyler volunteered to do all those chores? Okay, that's fine then.
Now that I think about it, Tyler used my phone to call you and ask you to pick up some medicine on your way home from work. He tried calling you, but you didn't pick up, so he tried calling your office instead.
He called my office?
Yeah, and it was the weirdest thing. When the secretary answered, he asked to speak to you, but she said you had taken the day off. I've been meaning to ask you about that ever since, actually.
Nuh-uh, Molly, not happening. I am not going to let you change the subject. We're talking about your behavior right now.
Wow, that was a nice dodge. I don't really see a problem with my behavior, though.
You're joking, right? What are you doing right now as we speak? You took our son and moved out of the house while I was gone. I'm still waiting for you to justify that. Well, Molly, got anything to say for yourself? You'd better have a good reason for this.
You really want me to say it? All right, suit yourself. Tell me, Keith, where did you go all last week?
This again? I already told you. My company sent me to New Orleans on business.
That's interesting. When I called your office, they said you had taken the entire week off as paid leave.
What? Okay, that's a straight-up lie. I don't believe you for 1 second. I mean, what reason could you possibly have to call my office? You could have just asked me.
Yeah, about that. Coincidentally, my brother was also in New Orleans last week on business. He had finished up his work and was out on the town when he saw something that really surprised him. It was so surprising that he had a hard time believing it was real, so he took a picture of it and sent it to me. He took it from pretty far away, so the quality isn't great, but I could tell right away. It was a picture of you, walking hand in hand with another woman.
What? No, that's impossible!
You look like you were having a pretty good time for someone who was supposed to be hard at work. But I can see that you must not need me and Tyler around anymore. Why would you want to be tied down by your boring wife and son when you could have week-long vacations with your fun, exciting mistress?
Molly, wait, I can explain!
From the way you were smiling in that picture, I'll bet you want to divorce me and go hook up with her as soon as possible. And I'm feeling generous, Keith, so I'll give you exactly what you want. But unfortunately, I am going to have to ask you to pay alimony and child support for Tyler.
Molly, wait, listen to me!
I am all ears, Keith. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
Let's say for a moment that I really was cheating on you.
That's an easy thing to say because you really were cheating on me. Let's drop the facade and have an open discussion like adults, okay?
Would you calm down for a second and let me speak? Think about it, Molly. For starters, okay, I'm sorry that I lied to you and said I was working when I was really just taking a week-long vacation alone. But just because I'm holding hands with another woman does not mean I'm cheating on you.
What else could it mean?
Well, there's all sorts of things it could mean. It could have been an old friend from school, or a sibling, or a cousin. There are a million possibilities. You can't just see a picture of me with a woman and immediately assume I'm cheating.
Keith, you don't have any sisters. And think about it from my position. I already know that my husband was lying about being at work to take a vacation. Really, that alone is more than enough to make me suspicious that you're having an affair. Even before your supposed business trip to New Orleans, I already knew that you were lying about going to work and taking time off. So when I saw that picture of you, it clicked. You must have been meeting up with her on that day, too.
You have an incredibly active imagination, Molly. You should become a creative writer. But you're letting your imagination run away with you. I simply forgot to tell you that I was taking the day off that day, that's all.
Uh-huh. Then why did you say earlier that you finished work early that day?
Oh, that? I don't know. I must have gotten my days mixed up.
Right. I think at this point I should tell you that my brother took one more picture.
He did?
Yep, and this one's gonna be a bit harder to explain. The two of you were making out.
We were?
So let's see if I can make that picture fit in with your excuses just now. You, a married father, lied to me, your wife, and said you were traveling on business. When there, you just so happened to bump into an old female friend, sibling, or cousin, and then you went on to make out with that friend, a long-lost sibling or cousin. Well, which is it? Were you making out with your friend, sister, or cousin?
She isn't a family member for what it's worth.
Obviously, it doesn't really matter whether you and her went on vacation together or if you just happened to meet up while you were there. You're a cheater either way, and I can't allow a cheater like you to have a negative influence on Tyler. And there's your answer, Keith. That's why I moved.
But it's still not okay for you to just up and move without telling me anything. We're a married couple and we have a son. This is something that we should talk about together. I mean, think of the effect this is going to have on Tyler.
I don't want to hear any lectures on marriage and parenting from a cheater.
And you don't need to worry about Tyler. I already explained everything that he needs to know. He'll be fine.
You need to be more specific than that! What did you say to Tyler about me? How exactly did you explain the situation?
Yeah, about that. How exactly would you break that sort of news to a boy Tyler's age? I mean, he's in the 6th grade and all. He's old enough to understand some things, but not old enough to understand others. It's not like I can just go to him and say, "Hey, Tyler, your dad's banging another woman."
Okay, then what did you say?
That's just the thing. Back when my brother first sent me the picture of you and that woman making out, Tyler was standing next to me. He looked over and saw it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, uh-oh is right. But I was surprised by his response. While I sat there panicking, wondering what to say, he just said, "Oh, so Dad is cheating on you."
You mean he had already caught on?
The day I got sick, he tried calling you, but you didn't answer. Then he tried to text you, but you still didn't respond. He thought something was strange. There's no way you would be so indifferent to your wife's condition, right? He assumed that the messages must not have gotten to you, so he decided to check your phone to see if they got sent properly. And that's when he saw some suspicious messages coming from another woman. I've got to hand it to him. He played you like a fiddle. After you got home, he asked you if he could see your phone so he could play the game you downloaded to it for him a while back. So you just handed it right over without thinking twice.
No way! That nosy little punk!
Looks to me like you're all out of excuses, Keith. You did your best to try and find some way to pin our marriage breakdown on me, but you failed miserably. You'll be hearing from my lawyer regarding the details of our divorce soon. Don't ignore his calls like you ignored Tyler's calls. It won't end well for you. The more you try and fight it, the more money I'm going to take from you for alimony and child support. A few days later, my lawyer called up Keith and set up a time for us to have a friendly discussion about our divorce. But when Keith walked into the room, who do you suppose walked in with him? None other than the woman who hates me more than anyone else in the world, my mother-in-law. She started tearing into me, criticizing me for everything I ever did, and even more things I never did. Eventually, I got sick of it and said that if Keith was going to be difficult about this, then we can settle things in court. His mother said, "That's just fine by me. It's your fault that Keith cheated on you in the first place. If you want to take us to court and just lose everything, then have it your way." Keith, however, immediately folded and agreed to enter into mediation. Tyler and I moved in with my parents, and we're doing just fine. I also found a company that understands my situation and is very flexible with my schedule, so I'm able to spend a lot of time with Tyler. So from here on out, I just want to keep working my hardest to be the best mom I can be for him.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Lily, do you have a minute? We need to talk about something important.
What's wrong, Matt? Did something happen? I haven't heard from you in days, and this is the first text I'm getting? You're making me nervous. Well, if I'm telling the truth, I've been nervous for a while. You told me when you moved over there that you didn't want me to contact you for anything other than emergencies. And I know you're busy with work, so I've honored that request of yours. But you used to text me a couple of times a day, and now I'm lucky if I get one a week.
Oh, I guess I kinda did go radio silent on you lately, huh? You asked me if something happened, and yeah, you could say that something happened, and that's actually related to what I wanted to talk to you about today.
What happened, Matt? Are you okay? Were you injured? Did something happen at work?
No, don't worry about me, I'm fine. It's not that something bad happened to me.
Oh, well, that's a relief. I wish you would have said that sooner, though. So, if nothing happened to you, then what's up?
Yeah, that's the thing. Nothing bad happened to me, but when I think about it, it's not exactly something that you're gonna want to hear.
What do you mean? You're scaring me, Matt. Please, just tell me what's going on.
Okay, well, here goes. About 2 weeks ago, I met a girl. She lives around here, and we got to talking, and we really hit it off. And here's where things get bad for you. She is way prettier than you. She's a lot more fun than you, too. Really, she's just all around a superior woman to you in every way imaginable.
What? Matt, what are you saying?
I mean, I thought that it would be pretty clear what I'm saying by now. Like, How explicit do I have to be in order for you to get it through your skull? God, you can be so dense. I hate the way you need me to hold your hand to help you understand the simplest things.
Wow, Matt, I'm sorry.
Yup, right on schedule. Anytime anything goes even slightly wrong, what's the first thing you always say? I'm sorry. I don't know, I guess that makes you a lot easier to use, so that's not an entirely bad quality.
Easier to use?
Even though you're older than me, you're so passive. Like seriously, you're a complete pushover. Ordinary people tend to respect themselves more as they get older, but you? Not so much.
Really? Is that how I seem to you?
I think the fact that you didn't try to defend yourself just now proves my point. Sometimes people say that when the woman is older than the man in a relationship, she becomes more like an older sister than a wife. In your case, though, you're more like a red-haired older stepsister.
This is hard to believe, Matt. So you're not really attracted to me?
Honestly, no, not really. I'm a guy, you know? Guys always prefer younger women. It's in our DNA. Back when we first got together, you looked like you were younger than me, and you were always so submissive, so I didn't think anything of it. But man, you sure pulled a fast one on me, huh? By the time I realized how old you really were, it was all too late.
Pulled a fast one? I don't know why you'd say that. I wasn't trying to deceive you or anything.
It's called a lie by omission, Lily. You had the responsibility to tell me how old you were. If you had only done that, I never would have done anything as stupid as marrying you. But no, you waited until the day we went to my parents' place to tell them we were engaged. And you said it so casually to them too, but I almost crapped myself when I heard. I knew I was finished. I couldn't just break up with you that late in the game. Our parents would have gotten upset and everything. It would have been a total mess. So I figured that since you still looked attractive enough that I could always hold out hope that you'd age well. That's the only reason I went through with marrying you.
I see.
But holy cow, was that a massive mistake? The atmosphere is so heavy when you're around, it's like someone turned up gravity a notch or two. Plus, you aren't aging anywhere near as well as I'd hoped. Being married to you is the worst. And then, just when I was starting to think about my future, my company transferred me over here. Getting out of that house opened my eyes to so much. Then I met Kelsey one day while out on the town, and I thought that this was my sign to finally give up the ghost. And she's pretty into me, too. We hit it off great right off the bat.
Kelsey? Is that the name of your soulmate?
Yep, she's young, beautiful, and everything else I want in a woman. She's the perfect girl for me. If you were wondering why I haven't been messaging you these past few weeks, that's why. I felt like it would be a waste of my time and effort to talk to you when I could be talking to Kelsey. It's not like you're gonna stop aging anytime soon. It's all downhill from here, so I've decided to leave you and be with her.
So you've been cheating on me?
Cheating? Nah, that's not what this is. Cheating would imply that you're the woman I should be loyal to, which is simply not the case. Kelsey's the girl that I truly love. She's got such a bright and cheerful personality. Every single second I've spent with her is pure bliss. She's not a major Debbie Downer like you. I don't know what I was thinking marrying you once I learned how old you were. Marrying a woman older than me was always gonna end in disaster. Anyway, I had my lawyer draw up a set of divorce papers a while back. They're in the bottom drawer of my dresser. I already signed them, so you can go ahead and sign them too, then take them down to the courthouse. Oh, and our apartment is in my name, so I'm keeping it. Pack up your stuff and get out as soon as possible. Let me know once you're gone. I'm gonna get my stuff, terminate the lease, and then move over here permanently.
Is that all?
Ah! What do you mean, is that all?
I'm asking you, is that all you have to say to me?
Excuse me? What's up with that attitude? Are you gonna actually try and stand up to me now after you know our relationship is over? Sorry, Lily, but you're too late. All that's left for you to do is shut your mouth and do exactly as I say, just like always.
No, Matt, I don't think I will. Not this time.
Oh, good God, Lily, you're really gonna do this, huh? All right, whatever. I'll humor you this one last time. Go on, say what's on your mind.
Do you really need to ask me? I'm pretty sure you know exactly what's on my mind.
No, I don't actually. I've never cared about what was on your mind before. Why would I start caring now?
No matter how you feel about me, the fact remains that as of right now, you and I are still husband and wife. You can go ahead and say that you truly love Kelsey, but that doesn't change what you're doing. What you're doing is wrong, Matt. It's dead wrong, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
For the love of God, are you gonna give me a lecture? Don't act like you're a victim. If you had made even the bare minimum effort to stay attractive to me, then I wouldn't have had to look elsewhere. Do you get that? Since you couldn't even do that bare minimum effort, then I'm well within my rights to do what I'm doing. So lecture all you want, Lily. I don't feel guilty in the slightest for leaving you for Kelsey.
Hold on, did you think I was talking about me?
What?
Wow, you really don't get it, do you? Put our relationship aside for the moment. I am talking about something else entirely.
What are you talking about?
Let me ask you something. You're living in San Francisco right now, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. I'm pretty sure I told you that myself before I left. So what if I'm in San Francisco?
One more question. What's Kelsey's last name?
You want to know her last name? What's your angle? Why should I tell you?
You said you were going to humor me, so humor me.
Whatever. Her last name is Bronson. Kelsey Bronson. There, I gave you her name. Are you going to tell me where you're going with this?
I thought so. I don't think I ever told you this, but I actually lived in San Francisco for 2 years during high school. My dad got transferred there for work just like you did.
I don't care about your history, so what if you lived here before? Oh, wait a second. You're not going to tell me that you actually know her, are you?
Actually, that's exactly what I'm going to say. She and I were good friends back in the day. We still talk to each other by text and social media.
No way! You've got to be kidding me!
Not too long ago, she texted me saying she was seeing a guy now. That was right around the time you completely stopped talking to me. I know Kelsey pretty well, so I can say for sure that she would never agree to date a married man. So that leaves me with only one possible conclusion. Matt, you are lying to Kelsey. And that is worse in my mind than what you're doing to me.
Here we go. Another lecture. Oh boy, just what I was hoping for.
You say it's a lecture. I say I'm simply calling you out for your deplorable behavior. Kelsey is one of my best friends, Matt. I care about her a lot, so I'm going to tell her about us. And once I do, Kelsey's going to know exactly what a low-down, lying, cheating creep that you are.
Don't you dare! I swear to God if you snitch on me. Listen, Lily, all that needs to happen here is you keep your big fat mouth shut. If you don't tell her anything, she won't ever know that I started seeing her while still married to you.
I know. That's precisely why I'm going to tell her everything. I can't just sit back and allow such an important friend to get tricked into an adulterous relationship. I wouldn't be able to forgive myself. I've taken screenshots of our entire conversation, and I am going to send them to her now.
No! I order you not to do that! If you do that, then she's gonna hate me for sure!
What's that? You think I'll make her hate you? I guess this means you do realize that what you're doing is wrong after all.
Please, for God's sake, Lily, do not send those screenshots to Kelsey! I'm begging you! Look, I might have gone a little overboard with you. I said some slightly unkind things to you, and I apologize for that.
Spare me your apologies. What good would apologizing to me do? She's the one that you're lying to. And more importantly, you're too late. I already sent her all the screenshots.
Come on, Lily! Why would you do that to me?
You want to know why? Because if I didn't, then you would get away with it. Kelsey would never know that you were lying to her, and the two of you would go on to live happily ever after. Actually, I take that back. It would just mean a lifetime of suffering for both of you if that happened.
What? What do you mean?
Kelsey's older than me, Matt.
No. She is?
Yep, she was a grade ahead of me in high school.
I don't believe it. That can't be true.
You said it yourself. Marrying an older woman would end in disaster. So while Kelsey deserves to know that you were lying to her, you also deserve to know that she's actually older than me. I'd hate for you to end up marrying yet another older woman. I know how much you hate us.
This is unreal. You mean I got tricked by another old hag? That's two now. How could I let this happen?
There you go again, claiming we somehow tricked you. Why do you keep saying that? If we told you we were younger than we actually were, then you might have had a case. But you just assumed incorrectly how old we are. All Kelsey did was skillfully use her feminine charms to attract you, and it worked, right? Honestly, I'm not trying to justify what you did or anything, but Kelsey is a lot prettier than I am. She's also a real sweetheart, too. I'll bet she has a lot of guys interested in her.
Yeah, well, she's got one less guy interested in her now. You think I'm gonna keep going after her now that I know she's older than me? Think again. So, did you really already send her all those screenshots? Has she seen them? Did she write back to you or something?
She just texted me, actually. Here, I'll copy and paste her message for you. Oh my God! I really have to be more careful with the guys I get interested in. Seriously, though, that guy was your husband? That's absolutely insane! I mean, I knew that you had changed your name after you got married, and Matt had your same last name. But it's a pretty common name, and since there's a lot of distance between us now, I just figured it was a mere coincidence. The craziest thing, though, is the fact that he's younger than me. Like, I was under the impression that he was at least my age. Frankly, his sense of humor and fashion reminded me of my dad's.
What? I do not have an old man's sense of humor. She's out of her mind. I don't look older than her, and I definitely don't act older than her.
Isn't that funny? Looks like the both of you had the wrong idea about each other's ages. Oh, hold on, she just sent one last message. It's about you. I'll send it over. Give me a sec.
What did she say?
You don't need to worry about me, girlfriend. I'm used to getting lied to by loser creeps like him. But you need to kick that guy to the curb, Lily. Take him to the cleaners. Divorce him and take everything that you can on your way out. Oh, and if he cries at the divorce hearing, could you take a picture and send it to me? That would make me feel a lot better. In the meantime, I've got some pictures that I can send you that would sway the judge in your favor. Well, that's good news for you, Matt. You wanted to divorce me, and boy, are you gonna get one. The only downside is that you might have to downgrade to a slightly cheaper apartment, because the amount of alimony I'm gonna get from you will make it look like Jeff Bezos got off easy.
Come on! You can't be serious! What happened to the way you were talking before? You were all like, what you did to Kelsey was worse than what you did to me! But now you're telling me that you're still gonna try and suck me dry in the divorce? How greedy can you get?
Let me stop you right there, Matt. I told you that I was putting our relationship aside for a moment. I didn't say I was putting it aside forever. You have belittled me, mocked me, treated me like trash. You completely ignored me for weeks. And then you only messaged me to tell me that you were leaving me for another woman. Did you think that you were just going to get away with all that? That you weren't going to get any consequences at all? Keep dreaming, Matt. I'm gonna ruin you.
This whole day has been so bizarre. Is this a nightmare or something? Like, I don't think you've ever stood up for yourself to me once in all the time that I've known you. What's gotten into you? Why are you all of a sudden so assertive?
Because you made a fatal mistake when you dragged my dear friend Kelsey into this, lied to her, and tried to make her an unwitting party to an affair. That was enough to make even someone as timid and passive as me get angry. And you are going to pay dearly for making me angry. Say goodbye to your car, Matt. It's going to be mine soon.
Damn it! Getting dunked on by an old woman like you has gotta be the most humiliating experience of my life!
After that, I signed the divorce papers Matt was kind enough to leave for me and took them right to my lawyer. I also gave him the pictures that Kelsey had sent me for evidence of Matt's infidelity. Once all the paperwork got taken care of, I tried to call him to arrange a meeting with our lawyers, but he didn't answer. My first thought was that he was avoiding me because he was afraid of facing me, but it was actually much worse than that. Apparently, his supervisor caught him trying to steal cash from his company's office. I can only assume he was afraid of how much money I was going to take from him in the divorce. Oh, Matt, he just doesn't know when to stop. There were so many points along the way when he could have realized he was about to make a mistake and change course. The first was when he found out how old I was. The second was when he was hitting on Kelsey while still married to me. And the cherry on top was when he was about to resort to stealing in order to keep himself financially stable. He could have kept his consequences to just being temporarily broke. Now he's going to be permanently broke and probably in jail. But since he and I are already divorced, that's no concern of mine anymore.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Are you ever going to come out from hiding in your room? You should come out and live your life like the rest of us do. We finally got back from our trip and want to see you. Is that all you wanted to say? Huh? There isn't anything else I need to say to you. I was just thinking I should probably ask if you'd come out to see how you'd react. Really, I'm fine with you not coming out of that hole of yours yet. Either way, I'm sure I'll know when you actually decide to come out, since you'll probably be making a huge fuss of us leaving you here. I see. But as for Kyle, he has been so worried about you that he tries to call you at least 5 times a day, so even if it doesn't entirely bother me, at least come out for your brother. Why should I? I don't care about how any of you guys feel anymore. Hey, don't say terrible crap like that. Can you at least try and act like a good older brother while you're still around us? Kyle even says that he wants to see how you're doing after you decided to have that fever. And what about me makes him think that I want to come out to see him? Does he think that this will fix my relationship with the rest of you? Or maybe he wants me to stick around the house so that I can continue to give you guys money. What? For money? I don't remember her ever borrowing any money from you. Have you started to hallucinate things? I wasn't talking about him. I was talking about how you and Mom took the money I made from selling designer bags as a part-time job. I think that was about $15,000 worth of bags, if I'm correct, that I sold. So with that in mind, I'd like to collect my reimbursement for however much of that money you two spent. What the heck? If you plan to do that, then go right ahead. I'll just make sure to kick you out of the house for doing that. Really? Then I suppose I could bring this whole thing to court. I'm sure they'd side with me since I never said that you guys could have that money. Eh? I didn't really think I'd need to do this at first, but of course I don't feel all too bad about doing that to the high and mighty family that went on vacation without me, especially when you guys used my money for it. Well, hold on a minute. I thought we agreed that the money I got for those bags would be given to me, and then I would give you guys like $1,000 or $2. But instead, you guys went ahead and spent it all going on that stupid vacation after I did all the work. I guess I should have known this would happen since you guys kept pushing for me to work harder and harder to get all the money I could. You guys didn't even care that I came down with a fever, instead just leaving me at home to try and care for myself. But wait! And now, because of that, the fever turned out to be pneumonia, and now I'm stuck in the hospital trying to recover. So are you happy with this? What? You're at the hospital right now? Uncle Drew and Aunt Bev came to the house to help drive me here when I told them that you guys left me. And do you know what they said about you? They said that you guys are a disgraceful family. So how does it feel knowing that your brother and his wife are disgusted by you? What? My brother said that? Well, I guess that this is it for us anyways. After I get out of the hospital, I'm gonna become Uncle Drew's son and move into his house. And I won't need to give you guys any more of my earnings from my part-time job. Wait, you're getting far too ahead of yourself. I couldn't care less about what you think about my choice. I'm not even thankful for you guys letting me stay at your house for the past 20 years. I had to go right to work after graduating high school, and even then I needed to give you guys whatever money I made to help support you. You supported us? You're an idiot, so there is no way you could have supported us. Are you having trouble understanding things with that tiny brain of yours? But you guys were already starting to move my things around like you were ready for me to get out, right? So you should be in total agreement with me leaving the house. Oh, but that's the thing. Now there won't be any money coming into the house that you guys can steal after I leave. Well, I guess life is gonna get a bit tougher now that your wallet will be just a bit more empty, huh? But for me, I'll finally become free of you guys, and I won't have to give you any more of my money. Do you plan to fight back at us in return for our kindness to you? There was never any kindness from you guys. The only thing that I ever received was pain from having to be around you all for so long. What? Did you guys at least have fun on that vacation that I helped pay for? From now on, the three of you won't be able to go on any more exciting trips like that, right? If I have to say it a little more straightforward, you reap what you sow. Well, once I've fully recovered, I'll be moving in with Uncle Drew. So please enjoy only needing to raise your amazing baby boy, Kyle. Wait, Jonah! I will definitely not be forgiving you for this. You're just going to leave us all behind to go live with my... Who is this again? Are you still half asleep or something? This is your dad! You went ahead and blocked my phone number without ever even telling me. So because I finally found out about that, I changed my number and was able to contact you again. I am really never going to let go of you wasting my time. You're a coward for running away from your family. But you guys were never my family. You jackass! I'm also talking about how you just threw us all away! How long do you plan to hide away and pout for? It's been 5 years now. It's time for you to toughen up and come back home! Then this must be my previous dad, right? All of these loud and obnoxious comments are starting to remind me of how awful your attitude was. What? I'm not the one with an attitude, and stop acting like I'm not your dad anymore. When the hell are you gonna come back home? Come home already! But what reason would I have for coming back to you? I mean, you guys treated me like I was just a piece of your property. And by the way, you need to find a better way to introduce yourself after not talking to someone for 5 years than just coming in and talking crap. If I'm not mistaken, you guys had treated me like a slave before I had decided I had had enough, right? The way you keep trying to make me look like the bad person is starting to really drive me up the wall. And after 5 years, a lot has changed with our family situation. It would help us out a lot if you got off your lazy butt and came back home to help support us. What are you laughing at? Hey, Jonah, reply to me! For a little bit now, I've been trying to get your attention by ringing your doorbell. Are you deaf now or something? Come open the door and talk to me. Ah, so you finally decided to come to me directly. It seems that Uncle Drew finally got a little soft and told you the address of my house, huh? I'm sure you probably tricked him into doing it. What do you mean I tricked him? All I did was ask him if he knew where you were staying. Saying that I would trick my own brother is ridiculous. Huh? You had to have deceived him. I'm sure you told him that you regret what you did to me, but that was just a lie that you made up so that he'd feel sorry for you, right? I bet you would be a great actor for the way you were able to make it look like you actually felt sorry. What? I'm not going to take that crap. Just open the door already. He told me that around this time you should be back from work and in your house. So even if you try to ignore me, I'm going to continue hitting the doorbell. Wow, that's very rude of you. I'll make sure that when I see your wife that I will tell her of all the dirty and horrible things that you did to your family. I wonder if that will make her leave you. But I think that would be even better if she did. What? So it seems that you found out that I got married, huh? Yeah, that's right. You didn't even bother contacting us to let us know that you'd be registering for marriage. But I guess I would have never approved of it anyways. I'm going to do my best to make you guys split up. I think you're trying way too hard to get back at me right now. Does this mean that you and your family are in quite the predicament at the moment? If that isn't the case, then I don't know what else would make you so upset as to try and get in my way again after almost 6 years. You're just trying to get close to me again since you can't handle things at home all on your own anymore. That's pretty sad of you if you ask me. Shut the hell up! Whether it's what's happening right now or what happened in the past, it has all been because of your wrongdoings. So you really haven't changed. Even now, you'll only find ways to make me the cause of all of your problems. I think it would be best if you just started caring for your family again and started to give money back to us. So, in other words, your family doesn't have enough money because you can't bother to stop spending it all? I just want to have a little extra money in case of emergencies, that's it. But also, Kyle will be getting married next year. I want you to be the one to pay for all of his wedding expenses like the wedding hall and his tux. Actually, you're going to have to do it. Is that so? What are you so puzzled by? If you have the time to act so absent-minded right now, then you have the time to open this door and talk to me face to face. And if your wife is also in there, tell her to come see me as well. Well, about all of that, I think it's time you stop acting out of hand. You're right saying that my wife is home right now, but I am not. What? I got a message from my wife just a few minutes ago saying that there's someone outside our front door screaming abusive language. She then asked me if I knew who that was. So I'm glad you decided to text me saying that it's you, or else I might have had to let her call the police on you. Well, then what the hell? If she's in the house right now, have her come out here to see me. I've been slamming on the door for the past few minutes now. I can't believe she has the nerve to just try and avoid me. When you're not around, does she not have the balls to face a threat? Well, I guess that it makes sense since she was stupid enough to marry someone as arrogant as you. Tell her to open the front door right now. Tell her that I'm here to teach her a good old-fashioned lesson. Well, you might think she's a coward for not coming to face you, but I think she can get pretty crazy when I'm not around. So I am really glad you told me it was you before something really, really bad could have happened. What are you rambling on about? Since you aren't here to listen to me, tell her to open this door now! Ah, it looks like that's what she's about to do. She told me that if she doesn't open the door soon, the young and rambunctious woman in her will get the best of you. Of course, if that were to happen, I don't think things would end very well for you. Huh? What does that mean? Well, once you see her, I'm sure you'll begin to understand. Anyways, I need to finish grocery shopping and then I'll come back home. Your wife is one of those heavy-bodied types, huh? The kind that's too big and angry to control? I think you finally found out what I meant when I said that she was gonna be scary when I'm not around. She told me that you wanted to talk with her for a little while when she answered the door. So while I was thinking about how long it would take you to finish wasting her time, I went out with her mom to get some dinner. What? Did you think that I'd come home to try and stop her? I don't have any reason to be going out of my way to do that. Having to drive all the way home would have been a bother for me, and having to see your face would have only been worse. But you said that after shopping you would come home? Help me! I'm really sorry, but now that I think about it, did you end up pissing your pants? My wife said she was busting out laughing at you. She said that your face got as red as a lobster and there was a dark spot that started to form in your pants. This is the best I've felt in a super long time. Please help me and don't tell this to anyone else. But you've already made it so that I won't help you. And I'm sorry, but I think you were a little late asking me. What? My mother-in-law already told your wife and Kyle about this. I had to tell your wife to send us some money to get the area around the front room replaced, since you decided to piss all over it. You didn't even clean it up before you ran home. What? You came to my house trying to get money from me, only to leave, creating more embarrassment for yourself. And you created unnecessary expenses as well. You're going to get it for talking to me this way. Well, I think this is really going to be goodbye for us. Now that you've learned from this great experience, there shouldn't be any worries about you visiting my house a second time, right? But you probably couldn't come even if you tried. Both my mom and dad never stopped trying to reach out to me after I told them I never wanted to see them again. They couldn't seem to understand why I cut them off. Their attempts to contact me continued, but it wasn't just about reconnecting with their child. They wanted something else: money. They couldn't manage to get all the $10,000 I'd requested from their relatives, so they turned to Kyle, asking him to help them out. They claimed he needed to repay them for all the kindness they had shown him while he lived with them. It was laughable. However, when they brought this up to him over the phone, his wife, who had a bit of a fiery side, jumped in. She was an ex-kickboxer, and her response to their request was enough to make them freeze. They quickly ended the call, likely terrified of what might happen next. Since that day, they've never made another attempt to contact any of us. As for their whereabouts, I haven't bothered to track them down. I'm not even sure where they ended up after I severed ties. If I really wanted to know, I could ask my wife to look into it, but honestly, I have no reason to care. They're not a part of my life anymore, and I don't feel any need to reach out. Life's been better without them. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.